Yo, what up? What's good? Welcome y'all back to the Legacy Lounge. It's always good when we get to talk to people from the city that moved out of the city, is making a name for themselves elsewhere. You know, that way we can get different perspective. And it's also always good to talk to somebody you know your whole life. Class of 01,
Yep.
flag football battles, back to High Shaft when we was about 6, 7 years old, which people probably don't even know, so we're going to get all of that. But yeah, man, we got all the way from Jacksonville, the Ville. Man, my man Justin Dixon, what's up? What's good, bro?
What's going, man? I appreciate y'all having me here today.
I appreciate you coming on.
Yep.
I see you doing your thing down there.
Trying, man. Trying. That's all we can do, right?
That's it. I see you doing it, though. So it's definitely, I appreciate you. I know you're busy, man.
Yeah.
I know you came in town on business, hopped on the highway to came and sit with us, so we appreciate it.
It was a priority, though. You know what I mean? I appreciate, and I look to y'all for what y'all doing. I love what you're doing for Steubenville. I love what you're doing on the cast, and it's an honor to be here for real.
Likewise, we love what you're doing down there in Jacksonville, but still putting on for Steubenville.
Always, man.
Like big time putting on.
Always, man.
So there's probably a lot. I think we're going to unpack a lot here.
Yeah, man. Probably get a little deep here. You know what I mean? A little deep, but I mean, it's needed. So
for sure, it's going to get, I'm going to learn a lot.
Yep.
And it's going to give people perspective from your journey, you know, why you are, how you are, why you go hard like you go hard, you know, a little bit of background. So Steubenville zone, born, basically raised, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep.
I want to start from the beginning.
Okay.
Like just walk me through it.
510 Logan Street. You know what I mean? We got some of the best athletes that come from that. I don't care what nobody say. We got some of the best athletes that come from.
Who was down on Logan with you?
Across the street from me, Buster Tillman, Vinny West. You know what I mean? We had Blake and Blair right around the corner. You know what I mean? We got Dominique. He was up the street. We had the Burdens right around the corner. It was killers over there.
Yeah.
Killers all in the same little area. You know what I mean? But we all had different circumstances. We all going through, you know, different stuff, just different points of life. So, you know, my mom had left me with Mrs. Johnson or Loretta Johnson, you know what I mean, me and my brother Damien.
Okay.
So we grew up right downtown. Life wasn't everything that, you know, people saw. You know what I mean? They see us playing sports, doing whatever. You thought everything was cool, but it wasn't like that. You know, like most people know.
Right.
People who know me or know our situation, you know what I mean? They know what it was. But
so I'm going to tell you what I remember. Free lunch program at the High Shaft. Yes, sir.
Yep.
And a lot of people, like, because they know All Saints and then Toronto and then finished that Big Rib, but they don't even know, like, you was in the trenches with everybody else. Like, they wouldn't associate you with them names that you just named from Logan. But I remember free lunch. I remember you and Damien at the High Shaft. I mean, that was it. We was there. It was Monday through Friday. That's how we ate. You know, it was an escape from everything. At that time, y'all was cool. I didn't know anything you was going through. Didn't know mom's situation. I just found that out right now.
Yeah. High Shaft for us was like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like, and we're gonna get a little deep here, talk about some talk some real stuff. But life was hard. Like, you know what I mean? We didn't have, I mean, I always tell people everything good about me and everything bad about me is from Steubenville. You know what I mean? But we were, even at the High Shaft when we playing sports, it was like survival mode, right? You know, we always playing, everybody's super competitive, but it was a release for us and it was extra for us because that little 9 a.m. to 3 or 4, you know, that was everything to us because when we went home, we was in a different situation. You know what I'm saying? So it was a little escape, as you could say.
All right, so tell me about the situation at home.
It was just like some mental, a lot of physical, like, you know what I mean, things going on at home between, like, you know, we weren't allowed to be kids, right? So, like, we had very structured, you know, all about schoolwork, and she presented us in a lot of ways that we weren't. She presented us in ways that we needed help. She got a lot of help. You know what I mean? But she did that to us on purpose. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And what is her relation to you and your brother?
So my mom, Tanya, and I love my mom dearly, so this is no slight on my mom, you know what I mean? But she was going through some things, so she left me and my brother with Loretta Johnson. And I'm not sure still to this day what the relationship my mom and Loretta had, but for whatever reason.
So this wasn't grandmother?
No, we just called her grandma because she was old. You know what I mean? When I'm growing up, like, that's all I know. Like, we weren't blood. There was no real relation. You know what I mean? We just called her grandma because she wore the dresses, had the rubber sole shoes on, you know what I mean, with the head thing on, you know what I mean? So
never knew that.
Yeah. It was never, my family was up the street. You know what I mean? My family was down there. I'm learning my family while I'm in Stephenville. I'm young, and like when I was going through things, that's how I knew who my family was, because I'd see somebody on the street, hey, cuz, hey, whatever, you know, your dad, your mom, whatever, they help me out, they do whatever. So that's how I learned who my family was. And even when I was leaving, or after I got pulled out of the home and I came back, I would come back to Big Red. When I actually did transfer to Big Red, I'm still learning. I didn't even know Apri was my sister. That's the wild thing. Like, I didn't know that she was my sister until I'm a junior in high school, and I'm getting introduced to her. Like, it was crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah,
that's wild. And I forgot all about that too. Yeah. It's crazy you mentioned that. You mentioned it was all about school. Mm-hmm. Did y'all ever go public school, or y'all was always private?
No,
school?
It was always private school, and she happened to know a lot of people. You know, her husband used to be the sheriff, Jefferson County, before he passed away. So she had a lot of connections and everything, and she always had us in private schools. But like bringing back grades home, B's, C's, that shit was a no-go, you know what I'm saying? So that's going to get you whippings, or that's going to get you extra work, or that's going to get you different stuff. So like it was different. It was different.
So through it all, I'm imagining, I mean, from the outside looking in, it always looked like you and Damien was like this.
Yeah.
But like, big bro, like what was he to you?
My brother was everything to me. Like, I'm talking about, even like now, me and him, we haven't, because of some of the decisions I made growing up, or after that, the fact, you know, we've grown apart a little bit, but my brother is still one of the smartest people I know, strongest people I know. You know what I mean? He held, even when I left, he had the option to leave. They tried to make him leave, but he was like, no, I got a couple years left. I'm gonna thug it out. You know what I mean? My brother's a amazing man. He's a great person, and he was even then. Through our situations, when I sit back and look how he led and still looked out for me, he took beatings for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, my brother was he's a different dude. Like, and the love I have for him will be, you know what it is.
I do.
Yeah.
Outside of you and Damien, did anybody else know what was going on in the house?
I feel like, and a lot of times the whole city did. And that's why I say the community, when I talk about Steubenville as a community, I love Steubenville as a community, and will always have love and respect for that. But I feel like the city and the government in a lot of ways let us down. We had children's service come to the house multiple times.
From people whistleblowing, basically?
Yeah, like, you know, and it took that lady almost taking my life. Like, I'm going to school. The final time they took me out, I had marks in my face. And I tried even then, because every time they would come, it would make it harder. So even then, they pulled me out of class. I tried to play it off. You know what I'm saying? And
because
say my brother did it.
Because it was hell to pay when you came home.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I tried to make sure that, like, I tried to push it off on my brother, but they know the kind of person, even the man my brother was at that point. They're like, man, Damien ain't doing that to you.
When you say push it off on your brother, you mean like the bruises and the marks?
Yeah, like, oh, we was wrestling, you know, we was doing whatever, you know what I mean? But it got to the point where that time, that instant, there was nothing you could do.
How old was you at the breaking point?
I was 13. Yeah, so think about that, though. I got left when I was 6 months old. 6 months till I was 13 years old.
Miss Johnson had you, you and Damien 4 years apart?
Yep.
Miss Johnson had you when you was 6 months, and basically Damien was 3 years old.
Yep.
And raised y'all all the way up until then.
And don't get it twisted. Like, while we went through whatever, I appreciate her for that, because she took us in when nobody did. Like, I don't know the situation, but all I know is she's the only person that took us. So while that I'm appreciative for, the rest of the stuff, like, my brother has, you know, forgave and done things and helped and done stuff like that. But me, like, I'm not a vindictive person, but I mean, she ruined a lot of stuff for me. Like, you know what I mean? We didn't have no childhood. Like, I wasn't going over kicking it with my friends. And if I was outside playing, it's because fucking we locked out the house. You know what I'm saying? So, like, or I'm going to the high shaft to get some shit. It wasn't like, oh, I'm just out having a good time. There was none of that.
It's crazy you say that, because we the same age, and we talk about the high shaft. Like I said, you know, basically grew up together at the high shaft. But I don't remember you after. There's gaps.
Yep.
So there's high shaft, All Saints flag football. There's hearing your name for Toronto high school football, and then full circle you coming back to Big Red.
Yep.
I would have thought that you was out the city, bro.
And I was. Essentially, when I got taken out of the house, I got moved from downtown in the heart of the city to the country. I'm waking up here in Cows in the morning. I'm out on 213.
You was at Edison.
Yeah, I went
Toronto,
to Edison.
Correct?
I went to Edison for my 7th and 8th grade year. My last year, 6th grade at All Saints, And that's when basically shit hit the fan. And by that time, I was getting rebellious and stuff like that. So that last time I got that beating, I kind of deserved it because I was talking crazy. Because at that point, I was like, I'm sick of it. You know what I'm saying? And I was feeling myself a little bit. But yeah, they moved me out to Toronto. First, I went to the children's home. And that's crazy. The children's home up by the mall. I was still going to school, and I used to have to walk that road to get the bus out by... what's that furniture store?
Hauser's.
Yeah, so I used to have to walk up that hill to Hauser's and get dropped off at that hill and walk down that. So I was there, for about 2 months.
You was at the children's home?
Yep.
So you a teenager. Mm-hmm. How it feel to be at the children's home without your brother?
That was the hardest thing. I could have did the children's home. My mentality at that point, like it was a relief because I was out the situation I was in. But at the same time, I missed my brother. Like that presence, even though we were going through different shit and we was going through it together, at least. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that was like the hardest thing. I think the whole process, even going out with, Mike and Bar, my foster parents, I think the hardest thing was leaving my brother because I didn't know what I was leaving him to. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Now he going through just like, I may not have been as big of a support to him as he was to me, but now he going through it by himself and I don't know what's going on. I don't got no way to talk to him. It was tough.
So y'all had no communication?
No, not for a minute. Not till I got out to my actual foster parents, you know what I mean? And then, I was able to rekindle some stuff and, and get back in connection with them, and they made that happen for me.
What was the incident, bro?
She had this thing, like, we get whippings and different shit, but she had this thing where she would grab our lips and twist them, right? Like pinch our lips or whatever. So some shit happened, and I don't know, Speed and them probably know. She used to make us get up in the morning and walk to like Downtown Bakery and shit. And this is like the mental stuff. So she make us walk to like Downtown Bakery, get our donuts and pop and shit. And we weren't allowed to have no sweets. Like, when I say we didn't eat no sweets, like, I'm talking about our peanut butter sandwiches, straight peanut butter, like, wheat puffs, like, all this shit. So she would make us go do that and bring it back. So one day I was starting to get a little bit more rebellious. So I took one of the donuts on the way back, and I ate it. So when I got back, she was a donut short in there. And she started talking, whatever, and I'm trying to slide out, whatever. And she hit me or something. I said, I'm tired of this shit. And then she proceeds to come over, like, dug her nails in my face. And she had this thing where, man, this shit heavy, though. But so she had this thing where she would give us whippings like almost every hour on the hour, like so militant that like she'd wake up in the middle of the night type shit, right? So I stay home all day, I get whippings and shit, and then but she fucked up because she put all the marks on my face. And you can't really hide those. I'm light-skinned as hell. Right. You know what I'm saying? So you slap me, I'm turning red. You feel me? So I had all these marks on my face, and I go in, and I get through, like, first period. And we're at All Saints now, and this is across from Big Red. My brother's at the high school. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm over here. So they pull me out of class, Sister Mary Claire, Miss Bianca, and they're like, hey, Justin, what happened? You know what I mean? They got a little library. I don't know if you're familiar with All Saints, but upstairs they got a little library in the back corner. They pulled me in the back and they asked me what happened. And like at this point, I'm so traumatized because every time someone that came, it just get worse and worse and worse. So I'm like, fuck it. I was like, my brother wrestled for Big Red. Mm-hmm. We wrestling around, whatever, whoop-de-woo. And they left the room. They came back. They're like, nah, we know this, you know what I mean? And then the police come in, children's service come in. And that's when we had Hills. Remember Hills back there? Yeah. So they take me out of school. They take me up to Hills. They buy me some clothes, some socks, some underwear. And they put me in a children's home. And the hardest thing about that was, like, you go from being in a horrible situation to another horrible situation. You know what I mean? So, like, it was definitely it was tough, man. It was tough.
Yeah, that's heavy.
Yeah.
That's super heavy. Who took you to the children? Like, who was it? The police that took you to Hills?
Well, it was a police and rapper. I don't remember her name at the time.
A caseworker.
Yeah, caseworker from there. Yeah, she came. They came and took me. You know what I'm saying? And it was tough. They brought my brother. They took my brother out of school. Brought my brother over there, and my brother was like, "No, you got to get him out of there."
And he stayed.
Yeah, he stayed because he had 2 years left at the time.
Right.
So he was like, I'm almost done. You know what I mean? He's like, my brother gone. I'm a stash guy for myself. It ain't going to keep going on. You know what I mean? So, he ate that shit. And I don't even know, to this day, we never talked about any shit that happened when I left. No shit. We talked about one incident, and basically, like, he just told her shit was dead. Like, you ain't doing this shit no more. Like, you know what I mean? And, he did what he needed to do. You know what I'm saying? And basically that shit stopped. And that's why, Damian, if you notice, you don't ever see him. He went to OU. He got his degree. He's, a colonel in the Army. Like, you know what I mean? He never looked back. You know what I'm saying? And I was like that for a real long time also myself. But, like, the bad parts about me and, like, pulled me back. I know it sounds crazy, but it pulled me back because when I lost stuff that I had, like when I got injured in the military, I had to get out of the military, I lost stuff I had, and all I knew was to come back. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't mature enough. I wasn't a man enough to do right. Because I'm still battling. I never recovered for the longest time. I can honestly say until like 5 years ago, probably, I didn't recover mentally or physically from everything that I'd been through.
But it's a testimony of what you went through. And we're going to get through all of that. Yeah. We're going to get through, the mistakes and what people may think from, how you may have done people after you return. But you mentioned your foster parents. They came and got you from the children's home?
Yeah, so they came and got me. I went out there for a weekend. They brought me back. I went out there for a weekend again. And when I was going to leave, they're like, hey, how would you feel about coming here full time? And at that time, to be honest, it wasn't even that I loved the situation. And it wasn't a bad situation. Trust me, I was well taken care of. However, I want to get the fuck out of children's home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, man, it's whatever. Like, you're the only ones that came and took a chance on me and wanted to get me out. So, you know what I mean? Like, let's go.
So were you with them 13 through 18?
Yep, correct.
Okay. How you end up Edison, then Toronto?
I went out there. We lived out on 213. Okay. So for me to go to school, it was just too much for them to be driving me back and forth at the time. So I went to Edison. And Edison was wild, man. Actually, I went to a place called Stanton. Yeah. So I was at Stanton. Yep. And it was wild because at that time, there was like no black people. There's black people at Edison now, but there was like no black people. Who else
was black at the time?
Me, and there was a family called the Beckwiths, right? The Beckwiths. That was it.
Okay.
That was it. And like at this point, I'm Steubenville, like, and I'm athlete, big athlete. You know what I'm saying? So I go out there, and they wasn't even ready for the shit. It was wild. You know what I mean? I'm going out there scoring 30. You know what I'm saying? 7th, 8th grade. It was crazy. You know what I mean? So certain people love me, but they were racist as hell out there. You know what I'm saying? And it was, it was wild. That was the first time I think like really I heard openly someone call me a nigger. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I never, like, even back at our times in, like, we didn't even joke around, okay, that's my nigga. We never said no shit like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So out there, it was wild. Like, you know what I mean? And then, couple fights here, couple fights there. And then I played basketball against Toronto. They had a decent basketball team. I liked their ass up, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I made some friends there, though. So I go there one summer. There used to be a bicentennial tournament in Steubenville. A 3-on-3 bicentennial tournament down by the high shaft, right by the bakery. So I go.
Yeah, it was on 4th Street by the Catholic Community Center.
Yeah, so I go there with a dude from Wellsville, Josh Kersey, and I go with a dude from Toronto, Josh Nett.
Mm-hmm. We played y'all.
Yeah, and we go down there and we won the tournament.
Yeah,
like crazy,
I remember,
right?
Yeah,
me and two white dudes went down there and won the whole thing, right? After that, I built a good relationship, and I was like, man, Mike Bart, like, is it cool? Like, let me go to Toronto. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not getting called down there. I got friends. Like, let me go down there. So that's how I ended up at Toronto. And Toronto was, they had came off of they had never been to the playoffs ever, school history. They was like 2-8 the year before I got there. And then I don't know what happened, but the year I got there, my freshman year, everything for that whole thing turned around.
Nate Walker was there?
That was Nate's first year.
Monster.
My first year. We had quarterback Bobby Petrus, who actually is a really good friend of mine in business right now.
Okay.
And we just went loose. We had Chris Alvis. People that were there, but something just had clicked. Like, it was just like, it's like they were tired of losing. And like everybody it was a sweatshop in that locker, in that workout room, in that locker room. And we just went to work, man. I was the only freshman to start. And yeah, we ended up going 9-1 that year. I went to playoffs for the first time in school history. City didn't know what to do. Yeah,
I remember, again, we the same age. So you had disappeared. I'm thinking you gone. And then you watching Sports Friday. Justin Dixon. I'm like, Justin Dixon?
Yep.
Because last I heard, you was in Edison.
Yeah.
Like I said, and then you like kind of fell off the map, and I seen you doing your thing in Toronto. Helped turn the program around. Winning at Toronto. How full circle come around? You finish out with us.
So my sophomore year, we go undefeated, go to the game before state. Finished like number 2 team in the state. Coming into my junior year, Big Red comes to town for a 7-on-7, right? They come to Toronto. Speed's brother there, you know, they got Phipps. We're like, all right. They come in there, I'm locking up. Like Coach Sack was calling me Dion. That's how crazy shit was, right? So after that, I rekindled with Coach Gillison, who was my All Saints coach. Yeah. And he was like, man, look, Brian Benton lived around the corner from me on 213 at the time. He went to Big Red. He had just went over there. So he was like, look, I mean, come to the Red. Like, you're going to be able to go to school, woo to woo. And my foster parents, they didn't have a whole bunch of money, but Mike busted his ass. And he worked 2-3 jobs to make sure we had whatever. So they got me a little car, and I was like, cool. But then I guess there was like some school restrictions. So like when I left Big Red, I literally lived with Coach Gillison during the whole football season, or basically summer through, you know what I mean, football, to make sure, you know, everything was cool and, you know, we got through all that. But it was mainly because I was getting so much traction at the time. I was just short, you know what I mean? But my numbers spoke for themselves. I mean, I was first team All State 3 years already. Uh-huh. You know, it was so crazy that even when I went to Big Red, they gave me a 3-year letter. I only played there the 1 year. Coach Gillison got me in the door, and I wanted that crowd, man, that atmosphere, walking up them stairs, getting ready to run through I mean, even when I went to college and playing college football, there's nothing like that. You ain't gonna experience that nowhere.
People say that all the time, not just the atmosphere, but like the strength and conditioning.
Oh, it's crazy. It was crazy. I thought I was the man in Toronto. I come to Big Red, man, I'm weak. Like it was kind of embarrassing, to be honest. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Fletch and then was killing me in the weight room. Filthy killing me in the weight room, you know what I mean? But by the time the season came, doing them box jumps, doing all that, you know, we was lifting 7 days, 7 times a week, which is it's unheard of. You know what I mean? We literally had a class. People don't understand this. Like, we have a football class where you're in the gym.
The weight training class was called intense weight training.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like there was a weight training,
mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, for people who just wanted to go bullshit.
Yeah.
And then there was intense weight training.
Yep.
This was 25 years ago. Like in
crazy,
high school.
right?
Crazy, bro.
And then you would go through that all week, and then Friday was death row.
Death row.
Bro. It was great. Like, we were just built so different. Even when I went to college, so we get to college, right? And in college, they on 1 rep max. It's 225 or 185.
You went to Marietta?
Yeah. So I go there, we get there, whatever, and all the corners is going, everybody, all the offensive linemen, they going 225, linebackers going 225. All the DBs and stuff, they going over to the thing, they going over to 185. They getting it like 6-8 times, they feel good.
Mm-hmm. They
called me up, I don't go to the 185, I go to 225. I get that 6 times. Coach looked at dude like, y'all in trouble. Y'all in trouble. Like, I was so strong. I was so confident at that time. Like, you couldn't tell me shit. Like, I'm locking everything down. Big Red, man, honestly, if I would have been at Big Red, because even leaving my senior year, I had several walk-on offers.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much every MAC school, like, you know, a couple other schools, but because my height, they just didn't know, like, what I was going to be able to do. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't have the time or the money to mess around with that. So I took what, you know, Marietta, the little liberal arts school, give me the minority scholarship, Hugh O'Brien youth leadership, give me my little money, and I went to school.
I would be wrong if I didn't circle back
mm-hmm.
and have you talk more about Coach Kenny.
Oh, man.
And
Coach Kenny saved my life. I'd get choked up talking about Coach Kenny. Like, if you talk about somebody like, I did a lot of wrong in my life, and I never put myself in a situation to go behind any walls. But if there was anybody that I would do anything for that would put me in that situation, it'd be Coach Kenny. I mean, that man bought me my first pair of football shoes. That man was taking me out of the house because he knew what I was going through. That man would come to Loretta's house because she wouldn't let me get haircuts and cut my hair on the stairs just so I wasn't out there looking horrible. Like I don't got enough words for Coach Kenny.
He knew what you was going through?
Yeah. And he hated it. Like, we'd take long ways home from practice. He'd make sure I ate because he knew we wasn't getting whatever, you know what I mean? And the crazy thing is I was being so productive and doing all this shit, but I wasn't eating right. I was sleeping on the floor. We had a box in the back of our head with a pillow. We sleeping on the floor every night, me and my brother. Like, we wasn't allowed to take baths. Like, we was taking bird baths. Like, shit was like, if I was to sit down and tell everybody everything, like people would be in tears. Shit, sometimes I think about it at home and I tear up. You know what I mean? It's hard for me to even fathom that we went through that. You know what I mean?
So I'm walking through this journey with you as we talk, and this is where I'm at. I'm at verbal, physical abuse as a child. I'm at children's home, which is mental abuse in its own right. I'm at Edison, where you're getting called niggers. First time you ever been exposed to that. Weight training, you thought you had it hard at Toronto. Not you had it good at Toronto, but then you come in as a military grade as far as weight training, which is mentally taxing. Not just weight training, but just big rig football in general. Then you go to college, but then you choose to go to the military, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
So walk me through that decision.
So I'm in school. I meet my son's mom, whatever, and she ended up getting pregnant. Now at this time,
this is while you're in Marietta?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm thinking because I went, we didn't have no money. So one summer I did what they call a split option in the military at the time. They had a split option where you could go to basic training one summer, come back, go to school, live your life. The next summer, the next year, you can come back and go to your specialty school. I get back to school, whatever. I end up finding out she's pregnant, right? Now, at the time, I'm in college. My foster parents really can't do too much for me. I'm giving plasma, doing whatever, we got to do to get through. And I'm about to have a baby now. So I don't know how I'm going to pay for shit. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I do know that I'm not going to be what was
for sure
what I rose up with. So the only thing that made sense to me at the time was, hey, I could get a guaranteed check. If healthcare or something needed, go to fucking Army. So I switched my MOS and I went to the Army because I'm very book smart. So I went as a signal analysis non-Morris.
How old were you?
At that time I was about 21.
Okay.
Yeah. And I go to Corey Station in Pensacola, Florida for 6 months, do all the military training, and I get to NSA Fort Meade, my first duty station. And then when I'm in there, they get asked to cross train, and I end up doing another job and get into some other stuff. So I was in the military for a good bit, but my son was born in March, and I deployed. Literally months after my son was born, I'm in Iraq for the first time. So, it was good because I knew my son's mom and them were there, because at that time they were at Fort Meade where I was at when I deployed out. I knew they were safe and stuff, but it was still hard because shit, I'm doing this for my kid and I'm leaving him as soon as he's born. You know what I mean?
At this time, what was going on in Iraq?
Oh, war was just popping. It was fresh. Like, we still kicking indoors. We still, Yeah, it was full battle rattle.
This is post 9/11.
Yeah.
And this is from fallout from 9/11, right?
Yep, correct. Yeah, and then my first deployment, I went to Iraq, second deployment, Afghanistan, third deployment, back to Iraq.
You was in the military how long?
Almost 11 years.
Damn, I didn't know you spent that much time in the military. What branch was you in?
Army.
All right, well, first of all, I appreciate your service. Real shit. Everything you said, take courage to overcome, but to me, signing up for something that could potentially take your life.
But it was a necessity.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't like I ain't going to sit here and be like, oh, I was just all gone ho, like I'm trying to go to the Army. No, it was no shit like that. It was, I don't know, I'm going to eat. I need some money. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it was. It was not, I'm not going to sit here and act like I was doing this shit because I wanted to go defend my country. No, I'm trying to save my life. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it was. And unfortunately, I was put in some of those situations. But honestly, it was the best thing for me because I feel like a lot of people should join the military in a lot of ways, because if you're not put in those situations where you fully know what you're capable of as a human being, when your back is up against the wall, a lot of people, we don't know that. We can sit there and be like, oh, I'm a dude, woo-de-woo. But you ain't never been in a situation that's really going to say, hey, this is a real fight or flight. Not just, a little street fight. This is a real fight or flight situation. And you know what you're capable of. You have a different respect for yourself. You have a different respect for people. I needed it at the time. You know what I mean? And sometimes I get upset with myself because I didn't utilize, even when I got out, the avenues that I had from it.
Do you suffer any, I guess PTSD? Yeah.
Man, that's a sensitive topic for me because I don't mean to I've been diagnosed with it.
Uh-huh.
However, I think it's an extremely mental thing.
Okay.
And I think that the medication and stuff makes it worse in a lot of cases. I think sometimes you got to talk to people. You got to fight through stuff and do it yourself. You know what I mean? So that's how I do. I mean, there's little things like that I do to this day that are a result of that, but it doesn't enable or hurt me in any way.
So you said you got injured, correct? Yeah. That's why you made your exit?
Yeah, my ankle, I got 5 screws in my ankle, a plate in my knee. I don't really like to talk about, that stuff, but it was a bad situation, and because of what I did in the military, they gave me an option. They said, hey, look, you can either reclass to a job that takes you out of the field because you're non-deployable now because of my injury, or you can get discharged. So I took the easy way out.
Upon taking the discharge, you came back here?
I went to Colorado with my son's mom's family for a little bit.
Okay.
And then that was a little bit of I don't want to say a downward spiral, but Steubenville kicked in, right? I don't got really no money. I'm overqualified to do a lot of different things because of the job I did, and I didn't want to go back to doing that. So, I got back to what we grew up seeing and we grew up doing, you know what I mean? So it put me back into the street life for a while, for a good bit. And, that's all I knew. I was immature. I was very selfish in my movements. And
this is
I take
Colorado?
Accountability for that. In Colorado, and then I came back home.
Okay.
Because for a while, I came back home with my boys by myself. You know what I mean? So, and I was moving certain ways, but I'm never going to, I'm real big on accountability now, right? So I take accountability for every action, good and bad. But, I was also trying to provide for 2 kids. You know what I'm saying? At the time, I'm by myself. You know what I mean? So I'm just making moves to live day by day. And, in Steubenville at the time, there's 18,000 people that can fit in a Big Red Stadium. Right? Maybe 20,000 people in the city. At the time, and I remember this because I looked it up, the average income in Steubenville was like $19,000 a year.
Outrageous.
Right? So it was just, Steubenville is a hard place in a lot of ways because while the community is great, it's like we haven't grown. We're still in 1985, 1986. If you look at our building structures, if you look how our stuff is, you know what I mean? It's still like it's stuck for some reason. I fell into that because, I deep down in my core, I am Steubenville. I love Steubenville. I'm always going to love Steubenville.
Couple things. You say you fell into it. You mentioned street life. You mentioned accountability. So street life can mean different things to different people. For what I did, somebody else might not say it's street life. Yeah. For me, street life is survival, by any means.
By any means.
When you say street life, what do you mean?
Hustling, scam, whatever way it was to get money, I'm getting it. Like it didn't matter what I was doing. Like, you know what I mean? Because I just went back to a survival mode, which is crazy because I feel in a lot of ways I've been in survival mode my whole life. You know what I mean? So like it's what I knew. It was natural for me to go back because like even when I was with Loretta, if you pay attention, I said, I don't get sweets. I don't get these things. So what do? I sneak to go get those. I go to the store and I steal candy bar here, drink here. Like, you know what I mean? I get different clothes and I get different stuff. So I've been doing that stuff my whole life. That's what I knew. You know what I mean? And it was almost second nature to me because I've been doing it forever. You know what I mean? So at the time, I didn't really see anything wrong with it because I accepted that that's who I was. And I didn't realize that I could be more. I thought I was just accepting it as for what it was.
You mentioned small town, 18,000 people. We also, as we tell this story, I know you. You know what I mean? You know me. We grew up together. We wasn't kicking it. I really no kicking it after high school or anything like that. But I heard when you were back, and I know, you were talking about hustling and surviving. And I know by you being in survival mode that you hurt some people that were close to you.
100%.
And I don't know this by talking to you. And I don't know this by talking to them people, just rumor shit. Yeah. I never seen that side of you, bro. But I never knew what you went through.
Yeah.
And I never knew you were in survival mode. Yeah. So when it come to me, I'm like, but ain't no fucking way.
Yeah.
Like dicks?
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally ain't no fucking way.
And then sometimes some things were fabricated to some extent, right? However, I was wrong. But it took me growing up and maturing, and since then I've done things like the one thing I learned about accountability is even though you may take accountability, you don't have to. It's not on you for someone to accept your change. It's not on you for them to accept your apology. All you can do is make the effort, right? So as I grew and as I did things better, I take accountability. Hey, this is what it is. This is where I wouldn't go into detail. Like, honestly, what you hearing from me today, still people don't even know this. You know what I mean? That's why, like, I was a little nervous to even come on here because, you know, a lot of people don't know this shit. You know what I mean? And I've been okay with that. I've been okay, you know, just keeping it as is. But yeah, there was people, and I think honestly that was the reason why I took so much into going to change, because I got tired of fucking up, bro. I got tired of hurting people that love me unconditionally. And no matter what fuck up, there's certain people in my life, and I'm not gonna put all their names out there, but no matter what I did, bro, they would be there. And it was like all these people that even when I was in hustling that would judge me or would talk shit or say whatever that I was doing, they forget when I was still paying their rent, or when we was at the club popping bottles, or when we was doing this all on Justin's tab. Now all they want to say is, oh yeah, Justin did this, Justin did this, Justin did this. But those people that were there, no matter what happened, now I never been to prison. I done got locked up and fought cases and did whatever. But there are certain people that always picked up that phone, bro. Good, bad, or ugly. And they might tell me, hey, you fucked up, but they never left me. And it got to the point where I was like, hey, I've got to take accountability, and I've got to be better for those people who have been there for me. And that was the biggest thing, like, that brought me saying, fuck it. I don't care if I'm struggling. I don't care if I'm putting on. I was trying to be someone I wasn't. Let's just keep it a buck. Like, that's what it was. I was becoming someone that I wasn't, because, and deep down, all I wanted was someone to love me. I wanted love. And I wanted acceptance. And I was going about getting it the wrong way, because it wasn't who I was.
Heavy shit.
Yeah. Just real shit, though.
No,
you know what I mean? Like, that's just like, you know, you brought me on here for the truth, so we're going to get
I'm glad you did it, bro. I'm glad you did it, because, I mean, and we at the age, man, who really cares what somebody thinks about them? Honestly, it's, I mean, I'm sure we thinking the same with that. Like, you know, the hell with them at this point. But to come on this platform and be, you know what I mean, transparent, just be vulnerable. First of all, vulnerability amongst black men is super rare. Like, we can't walk down the street without mean mugging. Like, let alone sitting across from each other, somebody, your peer, like you literally the same age, known each other our whole lives. To be vulnerable and for you to tell me the things that you experienced, that you went through on a platform. Like, I think it's so important to me. And it ain't a black man, white man thing. It's a man thing. That a man could be vulnerable as a man and sit across from another man and trust me enough, you know what I mean, to tell your story and to help the Legacy Lounge help put your story out there. That takes trust.
And I don't mean this in no disrespect to anybody. Like, I'm not doing this so I want to clear my name and no mean. Because at the end of the day, I am who I am. I accept everything that it is. You know what I'm saying? Because also where I'm at now, like, I give shit. I'm good. But I think it's important that I'm real big on emotional intelligence right now. And I think the man that I became now it made it okay for me to have conversations like this. And I needed to have conversations like this to deal with the shit that I went through. You know what I'm saying? And being able to accept it. For a long time, I was in denial, like, fuck it. Like, you know what I mean? This shit ain't nothing. I'm fucking bounce back from it. I'm too hard for that. But nah, fuck it. That shit's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is. But, like, now I'm extremely blessed. I'm fortunate. I'm a better man, becoming a better father. You know what I mean? I'm having better relationships because I value what people bring to my life and what I'm able to bring to people's life without having to be someone that I'm not.
So I'm going to tell you what I see in you. I always felt like, from when we reconnected in high school, I just didn't feel like you were comfortable. Of course, we grow, but it wasn't, you know, the Dixon I knew from Logan Ave. Like, I felt like you was uncomfortable. Like, you know, not uncomfortable, but you were just trying to be something you weren't. You know, even through conversations we were running to each other, whatever, throughout the years, I still got that vibe. Like, from right now, even when I first hit you up, like, you know, when you got out of the truck, when I first seen you, to us talking before we were filming, to having these conversations, I can feel the peace. Like, I can see, I can feel the peace in you, like, for sure.
Like you said, even coming down to Big Red, I didn't know how to act. You know what I mean? And then, you know, you got people, like you said, Big Red football is everything. So now I'm coming to Big Red and everybody know I'm coming there to play football. There ain't no reason why you coming here, right? So that was another pressure. You You know what I mean? And I'm taking spots. You know what I'm saying? So like it was a difficult situation, and I just wanted to fit in. I just wanted people to like me. I just wanted, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, you got to accept that it's okay to be you. And if people like you, they like you. If they don't, they don't. And that's okay. But for the longest time, I didn't do that. And I was trying to buy friendships, and I was trying to buy, different stuff. And that shit wasn't me. And every time I got into a real situation or that I was doing something fucked up, honestly, I was doing it with other people to impress somebody else or to do some other shit. Like, and that shit dead now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I
always say peace of mind is priceless, but being comfortable in your own skin give you that peace of mind, man. And I think it's a skill.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people don't master it. Self-awareness is big. Self-acceptance is big. And holding yourself accountable.
Yep.
By doing that, man, it just opens up the doors to life to where you could just live your life and live freedom. And shit, man, we 42, 43, 44, whatever. Like, sometimes it take that long to achieve it.
It took me way too long. And, sometimes I used to be, like, embarrassed of it, right? Like, I used to be like, fuck, man. Can't believe I did that shit, or I was doing, you know what I mean? And, like, I didn't, you know how they say about liking a person you see in the mirror? Mm-hmm. For a long time, I didn't like it because I was uncomfortable with everything because I wasn't me. You know what I mean?
But there's something about survivor mode, bro. Mm-hmm. And I ain't going to sit on here and lie like it's, I had a very structured childhood and everything. Mm-hmm. But when I reached an adult, I reached a crossroads to where similar. I didn't have no money. Mm-hmm. I'm from Steubenville, like you from Steubenville, like everybody from Steubenville. I'm from the hood. Mm-hmm. And my homies around me is indulging in hood activities. Mm-hmm. So now it's the fork of the road. But the money over here, or the opportunity is over here. It ain't always money, but again, not proud of what I did, but man, survival mode can it can make you do some things, but that's Steubenville for you. Yeah. You kept saying you went back to what you know.
Like I tell everybody, like I told you, man, everything good of me and everything bad of me is Steubenville. That's it. I'm Steubenville through and through, and I'm proud of it. Like when someone asks me where I'm from, I don't say I'm from Youngstown. I don't say I'm from Pittsburgh. I don't say I'm from Columbus. I say I'm from fucking Steubenville. You know what I'm saying? And they try to make little jokes or whatever. But, hey, that's where I'm from. You know where it is. You know what I mean? And
if you know,
stand on that all the time. Yeah.
If you know, man. It's small town, we go hard. Yep. But I want to talk about Triumph now, man. So I want to transition because it's all pertinent to where you are now and where we sit now. The softball circuit. Mm-hmm. How, from everything, how the hell you end up there, bro? It was crazy
because back in the military, just finding hobbies, and softball's a hobby, right? It's just something we do on the weekends, pastime, and I've always been an athlete. You know what I mean? We've always been playing baseball since Bernie Bastille's dad had us. You know what I mean? So it was just like an easy transition to me. I made some friends. I got good at it. You know what I mean? Started playing at a high level, and it's just something I enjoy doing. It was something to pass time. Deployments and stuff slow some stuff down. But then as I got back into it, started playing it for a while. Then I started battling some injuries. And then I started putting teams together. And we would travel and we won a lot. You know what I mean? And, it just big snowball from that.
So it went from you playing softball as a hobby, start traveling. How you end up in Jacksonville, end up doing what you're doing now?
Crazy story though, because like I said, even when I was doing some things that I'm not very proud of, I used to be going back and forth to Florida, right? So going back and forth, I made some friends, and my teams. A lot of my players were from Florida because in Florida you play ball all year round. You literally only get December off, and that's by choice. You can be playing during December if you want. So a lot of my teams I was playing with, a lot of my friends and stuff that I had built were from Florida. So it was just like a transition, man. I just started going to Florida more and more. And then, I started getting into apparel about 2 years ago. I never, to be honest, I never would expected it to be what it is right now, to have the impact and to be where I am right now with that. Because sometimes I'm like, I don't even deserve it, it's crazy to me because of everything that I've been through for me to like continue to be blessed. Like sometimes it don't even make sense.
Survivor's remorse.
Yep.
That's what a lot of people call it. Like you said, like I don't even deserve it. You do, but you figuring, for what I've done and what I put people through, like, why is God blessing me? But no, you deserve it. You
because like there's been plenty of reasons just to like, write it off and be done with it. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy because some of the stuff that's happened, I haven't even necessarily asked for it. Like even the situation where I found my vendor and the factory and all my stuff is like a lot of stuff. It's just like a crazy blessing, a crazy coincidence. Me being in the headspace that I was, fortunately for me, I was able to lock in and tone everything else out and say, hey, I can't fuck this up. You know what I mean? Even though I've had other opportunities, I thought this is just too good. It's too good. I'm too fortunate. Lock the fuck in. And I've been able to do that. And then the biggest thing I have, like those people that were there for me when things weren't 100%, those people piggyback, made me stronger, helped me carry it. You know what I mean? Now we do all kind of stuff. We have back to school events. I come home. A lot of people don't know this, but every Christmas I come home to Steubenville and I donate to every kid that's in the children's home. Every year. They don't even know it. Like I don't go post it on social media. It's not something that I do for attention. But like we have those. We have mentoring programs. Like the growth that this opportunity has given me has completely changed my life in so many different ways.
So what opportunity? What were we speaking of?
You know, I was in softball.
Yeah.
So I had people that were doing our uniforms for our teams. And I'm never going to speak bad on someone that isn't, like now where I am, I'm not going to speak bad on anyone who isn't there to defend himself. Mm-hmm. So what I will say is someone was in a bad situation. It was presented to me to help the situation. And at the time, I was in a position to do something. And I took a leap of faith. And I ended up being able to get and become a partner of, you know, a good business. And I took that and pretty much just ran with it. And like my ideas, my Steubenville swag, who we are, like it took off because it was natural for me now. Like now I'm not just making softball apparel. I make apparel that I would wear, right? That you can wear playing the game or you can, you know, wear out, right. Take your girl out, go do whatever. And I found my niche. I can say I'm fucking good at it. Like that's like I'm good at it.
So what's the apparel? Like what's the brand? What's the apparel? Tell me a little bit.
So it's Hype Sports, and we do everything from custom uniforms. We do personal. We do job polos. We have high schools. I have Tiffin University. I have colleges I do stuff for. I have, you know, middle schools. I have AAU teams. I got TNXL Baseball Academy, which is like the IMG of baseball. I do all of their stuff, and it's anything you could think of, we pretty much cover it. Like I can do everything, socks, belts. You know, we just dropped some new socks. I just signed a contract with iSlide, and we dropped our own sandal, our own foam sandal, which is crazy. You know, go to hypesportsgear.com, get that, you know what I mean? But, man, we got hats. We have everything, you know what I mean?
I want to talk about hats because you're in Jacksonville. Mm-hmm. It's Jacksonville Jaguar colors.
Yeah.
But it says the Ville.
Yeah.
So what is the Ville?
So so when I said I got injured for a while and I was hosting my teams, my team name was the Ville. Like we went everywhere with the Ville on our chest. So one of our uniforms we used a color scheme that was white with teal and a soft red. That's where this is one of our game hats. You know what I mean? And we had the white and the teal and incorporate it with our uniform. But a lot of people, when I got to Jacksonville, they were a little hot because I was coming in taking some of their best players. And they came and they were playing for a team called the Ville. Mm-hmm. And they're like, man, this motherfucker ain't from Jacksonville. Why are you taking our name? But they didn't understand the history and where I was from. But then once they did, I just actually had an episode on my podcast with a guy, and we was beefing heavy over that. Like, because he from the Ville, like he from Jacksonville. Right. And he from the streets over there. And like, it wasn't sitting right with him. You know what I mean? So we actually got to a point where we had to have a little face-to-face conversation. You know what I mean? And we got all that hashed out. But yeah.
So having the Ville on your logo, mm-hmm. What's that mean to you?
Everything. Like it doesn't, I understand that, you know, how life goes, but the one thing that I do remember with everything that I was going through was Steubenville's sense of community. And like, it was weird because it was like people knew what we were going through and they knew they could only do so much, but they tried to do everything they could. I remember Mikey Otis and his mom and them bringing over clothes. I remember Chuck and them seeing us on the thing. Hey, here's $20. You know what I mean? Here's this. My first pair of J's came from Mikey Otis. I didn't even get to wear them because they would give us stuff and she would take it like she was going to give it to us and never did. But I remember seeing them. It was the Jordan joints with the strap with the 2-3 fire. Like, you know what I mean? And the community, how much love they showed, even though that they knew they could only do so much. They tried to do everything they could, whether it be me playing sports early, Coach Gillison taking me to the Target shop and them giving me them Apexes for free. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was so many different things that I will never forget. So no matter where I'm at, no matter what, I don't care if this blows up into be $1 billion business, it's still going to be Steubenville all day. It's still going to be, whatever I can do. And eventually hopefully I'm able to come back and do more here. But we'll just see where that leads me.
So before we move on, past Hype Sports, you plugged it, but I don't think you did it enough justice. So if an organization, a team, a person is interested in what you offer, how do they get a hold of you?
We have the website, which is hypesportsgear.com. Like I said, you can hit us on social media for Hype Sports Gear on the Facebook. We have Hype Sports Apparel on Instagram. We're getting on TikTok, which you can shoot us a message, and we do anything custom. Nothing is off limits. You can bring us an idea. We have people that mock it up, draw it up. We'll figure it out, or you could come with something you already have, and we'll put our own little touch on it. But we've taken it to a lot of different eras. I have probably 27 different kinds of material. About a year ago, about 10 months ago, I dropped my own material, which is a hype material. It's got the hype in the cloth. We do so many different things with it, and it's something that I'm extremely passionate about because I love it. I love coming out with new stuff, and our new winter collection that we about to drop in a month is going to be crazy.
All right, so let's let the cat out the bag.
Yep.
So I know people like hype, man. I know I seen hype somewhere. Mm-hmm. Yeah, y'all seen hype somewhere.
Yeah.
Heart on my sleeve, city on my back.
That's right. Yep.
This is the man.
As soon as I saw what y'all was doing, like I told you, I just hit you up randomly out the blue. Look, I do this stuff. It's not. I don't want no money. We're not trying to do nothing. I love what you're doing. I love how you put on for city. Let me show you what I do. You know what I mean? And you're like, well, what? I was like, here, let me just draw something up for you. I sent it over there, and then I remember you hitting me up because you didn't even know the box was coming. You're like, we got a box. It's apparel. You know what I mean? And I was able to shoot it through, and then we had a couple other ideas from there, and we ran with it. But it was an honor for me to be a part. And when I see y'all wearing it, or I see people in pictures wearing it, it's still crazy to me. I'm still getting used to seeing my stuff all over the place because it's something I put a lot of time into.
Since we being honest, and with brutal honesty, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Mm-hmm. When you first reached out and when we started those conversations, I was hesitant. Mm-hmm. And bro would tell you, it was nothing I ain't about to tell you right now, but shit, I was just going off with, what I heard and what the past was. And as a man, as a human being, I think I live by it's uber important to form your own opinions on people. Mm-hmm. Also, and to give people grace and second chances. Mm-hmm. And thank God for that, man, for sure, because everybody deserves it, but you particularly deserve it. Yeah. Totally off subject, but I did want to tell you that I appreciate everything, you did for us in that regard.
Yeah, you already know, whenever, I told Speed, whenever y'all ready, we can take it to wherever your imagination can go. We can make a lot of stuff happen. We're going to talk
off camera with that for sure.
We can make a lot of things happen.
We're going to definitely talk off camera with that because, shit, bro, you an integral part of a movement.
It's huge,
that was, you seen it? That was a move. That was a movement for us. You was once we had that connection and had that conversation, shit took off.
And it was incredible for me to make something that could be, to represent home. When I'm making those shirts and those shirts are coming out and I see the bridge and I see all that stuff, I'm like, man, this is, crazy. And even now, I've tapped into some school. I just did the football team gloves for Toronto High School and did bags, hoodies for them. You know what I mean? So I'm starting to get back into that. I just did some football gloves for Bridgeport. You know what I mean? I am getting back into where, ultimately, man, I want to see Big Red run out one night with some, with the football uniforms with the H on the chest. That would be, to me, man, I probably cry right there on the thing. I ain't gonna lie.
I get actually the hair on my arm stand up because I go back to when I received the box, not knowing what to expect. Yeah. Shit, I don't even know if you're sending it, bro. You say you is okay, you know what I mean? Whatever. Yeah. You don't want nothing, okay. Mm-hmm. And I'm at work. My wife texts me. She you got a box. Mm-hmm. I'm like a box, like a little box, she like a big box. I'm like, huh? I'm like, well, shit, open it up. I thought it was something else. I couldn't remember what we thought it was. And then she opened it and she was like, yo, this is merch. Exactly what she said. I'm like, merch. I'm like, oh, Dix. She's like, who is Dix? I'm like, man, I'll tell you about him later, dude I grew up with or whatever. And she sent me a picture. And I'm like, oh, this is tough. Like, by the picture, I can't wait to get home.
Yeah.
I never forget this shit, bro. I come home, my man can tell me if I'm lying. I open the box, and I call him. I'm like, he didn't know. He didn't even know about our conversation. He had no idea, like, that you were sending me the samples or whatever. I'm like, bro, you got to see this shit. Like Dick sent me some shit. You got to see this shit. I leave the crib. I grab a couple his size. And I take them to the crib, and you know what I mean. When friends, brothers, man, when you see your brother's eyes light up in excitement, like it do something to you because I'm like, man, shit, I put this together. So without bro knowing, because anybody that know, man, bro handle most of the business stuff. Like I do what I do, but Speed handle most of the business stuff. So like this was my contribution, and man, to see his face light up like when I gave him that shit, and I knew it from the picture, but when I felt that shit, I'm like, this is different.
And I go to like shows, like, you know what I mean? Like I'm so invested in it, like not just like financially, but like I'm emotionally attached. Like I'm going and feeling fabrics, and I'm seeing how it stretches, and I'm seeing how it's gonna feel in heat, and like all those things. It's like it's crazy what actually goes into making a good line and making a good apparel, like, you know what I mean? Even the tri-blends, you know what I mean? Just doing stuff like a tone on tone. Like, it's just a clean, classic look that you can wear every day. It's comfortable. And I mean, I love what I do. Like, I absolutely love it.
It's dope. Yeah. It's dope. It look dope. It feel dope. It's, the style is dope. It's modern. And, it's up with the times. Everything about it is dope. So we, Legacy Lounge and the word legacy is what stands out because, that's what it's all about. That's what we're working towards. And in your regard, you mentioned what the birth of your son did for your life and the turn it made you take. And, I mean, shit, you took drastic measures, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Literally, you put your life on your line for your son. As that's what we do as fathers. But you took it to another level. You like, I literally out there in the field. But you have two sons, correct?
Correct.
How old are your sons?
21 and 11.
You got a 21-year-old son. It's crazy.
Right?
It's crazy. So what your boys mean to you, bro?
If we being honest, since we've been real and been heavy, like they mean more to me than they understand because while I was doing my stuff, I let them down a lot of ways. You know what I'm saying? So like now I have a different love for them because like my oldest son, like, and this might be too much, but man, when I would fuck up, I had such a sense of accountability. Even then, like I would be in jail. I'd call and talk to my son. He'd pick up my calls. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's hard because my son is like me in a lot of ways, but he's super intelligent. But sometimes when he does little things that I see that I did, it triggers me. And like I'm super aggressive with him. I'm super hard on him. And I try to explain to him, hey, look, I know this can snowball. I know this decision you're making right now where it can do it because I've done this shit. I love them hard, if that makes sense, right? Because I don't want a repeat cycle because they deserve better. They deserve better from me. They deserve what they're getting from me now. I guess that's where I can say I love them hard, like, you know what I mean? And we have those tough conversations, My oldest, sometimes he won't talk to me for a month or something because he'll call me, hey, Dad, I need woo-woo. Nah, you ain't doing it this way, so we're not doing that. Like, either you fall in line or I'm going to let you fall because you got to learn it.
It's something about being a father when you didn't have one.
You don't understand how to be it.
No, you don't.
And even if you have a foster dad, that's still not dad. Like, you know what I mean? And it's no knock on what that man did for me. I will love him forever for what he did for me. But there's a different kind of, it's hard to, I can't even put it in words.
It's all is you want to give them what they never, what you didn't have. Like, and I don't want to speak for you, but that's me. Like that's, you know what I mean? I don't know what my pop's situation was. Honestly, we never really had the conversation. To me, it was, you can't miss what you never had. That's how dope my mom is. Yeah. That's how dope my mom was. and my mom had 8 brothers. Like, and you know what I mean, I latched on to them. But even with all of that, like I knew, like my daughter changed my life. My first daughter, China, changed my life. She taught me how to love. I've never felt a love like that before. I've never felt a feeling like that before. And all I knew was I couldn't let him down.
Yep.
I don't got no problem with my pops. I love my pops. You know what I mean? That's, you know, shit. Without him, there ain't no me.
Yeah.
I'm the sequel. You remember I used to go by sequel. Yeah. Like I'm a junior. Like, I'm a junior to my dad, but at the same time, I don't never want. My biggest flex is I've never let my daughters down. Like that's my biggest flex. I've never said I was going to do something and didn't do it. In 18 and a half years of being a dad, I've never let my daughters down. And that's my biggest flex. And, you know, sometimes it's a little resentment towards my pops, but I don't know how it would have turned out if he was there.
Yeah.
I don't, it's weird saying that, but.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Don't know how it would have turned out if he was there, because him not being there, shit, it made me stand
and
up
in mine,
and be like, man.
I could say, I found out my dad has 9 kids, right? So, crazy story. I know we cut short, but I gotta tell this story. So the first time, you wanna know the first time I met my dad? I come back from Iraq, my first tour. What was it? It was called it wasn't the Den of Foxes. What was the Irish bar that was right down there?
Irish pub.
The Irish pub. So I come back from Iraq. I got money, right? I just been there. I ain't spend no money. I come home. I go to the Irish pub. I rent out the bar, like everybody drinking free, whatever. My sister comes up to me.
This is a pre.
A pre comes up to me, and she's like, "Hey, I want you to meet somebody." That's the first time I met my dad in person.
You was how old?
23 years old.
Crazy.
And I'm meeting him on that night. I'm already lit. You know what I mean? I'm already a couple drinks in, like, you know what I mean? So that was the first time. I met him a couple times since then. I've rekindled a relationship with my biological mother. She's actually in Florida too. She's in Tallahassee. So she just came to my my back to school drive that we have, where we gave away 100 book bags, 100 pairs of shoes. She showed up for that. And so the parents that I didn't have, I try, like, sometimes I think that's I don't have a lot of regrets, even of the things that I messed up. But the one thing that I do regret is, like, sometimes while I've made those decisions to be a father, at the same time I took a step back, and I wasn't the father that I should have been from day one, because I was selfish in my actions. I was selfish with how I, you know, even though I was trying to provide, I could have did better ways. I was still selfish in my thinking at the time. So that's my only real thing is and I'm making up for that, but I wish I could have been better for them younger.
But it's never too late, though.
No.
And that's, I think people fall into that trap, like, you know, hey, I'm 30, I'm supposed to be here. I'm 25, I'm supposed to have this done, or I'm 40, I'm supposed to. And every time you wake up is a chance to right your wrongs. I mean, shit, bro, you living proof. You're a testimony to that. So again, man, I'm gonna lighten the mood a little bit, but I appreciate you again, man. And it from man to man, you know, black man to black man, to sit across from each other and have these conversations.
I wasn't gonna come here and waste your time, bro. You know what I mean? I was gonna give them what they wanted.
I appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying? We had to give them what they wanted.
We had to, and hopefully it shows people it's all right. Yeah. Like, man, we known each other our whole lives. Yeah. Like, it's fate brought us back together. It ain't no coincidence, and it's dope to see what you're doing. And you know what I mean? We've done business, and we will continue to do so.
And it's crazy because y'all came in actually like I was just starting my movement. Like, it was like, you know, it wasn't ground zero, but I was like still like, hey, I'm still pushing out everything, trying to grow. And I appreciate y'all taking the opportunity and the chance, you know what I mean? Because you didn't have to, because like you said, perception is reality to a lot of people. So, you know, for you guys to be like, you know what, nah, let's run it. And then after that, come through with the order, then come through with another order. You know what I mean? I appreciate all that.
Real recognize real, the grind recognize the grind. That's just how it is. Like, somebody that's chasing greatness, somebody that's sacrificing a lot of things, they recognize when another person is doing it. Yeah. And it's like a magnet, bro. Like, that shit just come together. And it always works like that. So it's not a coincidence. It's just how it's supposed to be. From free lunch, chocolate milk, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Back to when, you know, All Saints came and had to bust Garfield's ass. You know what I mean?
So hold up.
I honestly think right now, if we didn't have to grow up, I'd probably still be scoring right now.
Hold up, bro.
I don't even know how many I scored that day.
Stop. Hold on.
How many did I score?
Let me stop it. Let me give y'all.
It's crazy.
Let me give y'all the background because y'all probably seen us going back and forth on social media for about 10 years now. All right, so let me
city championship.
Let me plant the seed. Let me set the table. So in '94, we in 6th grade. I go to Garfield Panther, Garfield Pride. We whooping shit. Literally whooping everything. If y'all know, we don't got to talk about it. It wasn't close. We literally whooped everything except for Lincoln, and that's because BY had all of her plays. Yeah. Rest in peace, BY, my man. Yeah. Joe Johnson is helping Coach Tino Jackson. Again, R.I.P. Tino Jackson. Joe Johnson is assisting us. Kenny Gillison is y'all coach.
Mm-hmm. And Mr. Todd Gillum.
Okay, and yes. Yep. So they're childhood friends. This is I don't know about Todd, but
Todd lived right around the corner from me too.
Okay, so and Joe was right there too on Logan.
Yep.
Yeah, so Kenny and Joe had a friendship. They put together it's a scrimmage.
Yeah.
It's All Saints versus Garfield. All Saints come down to the ball field because we Garfield, so we practice at North End. We at the ball field.
Coach Joe thought the shit was sweet.
Yeah, he did. So did we.
He thought shit was sweet.
We keep it real. So did we. So if you don't know, Garfield is no bullshit 90-95% black. Mm-hmm. Like our football team, there might be, let's say there's 30 kids, 4 whites, 5 whites, something like that. That was, we had took our lumps. My 4th and 5th grade year, we won 1 game combined, and we tied 1 game. We was trash. So our 6th grade year, we that.
But y'all was stacked though. You had Gio, Catone. Y'all was
so we had Catone at quarterback. We had Lil Rob tailback. We got Jay Barber. We got David Owens. We got Jason Wade, Mikey Lamb. We got me. Hopefully I don't leave nobody out, but we was deep. So they say they bringing y'all down to scrimmage. We like All Saints, the white boys.
Yep.
Now, mind you, Jeremy Jones is my neighbor.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jerm. That's like my brother. Literally like my brother. We grew up together my whole lives. Mm-hmm. So I knew Jerm was on the team. Lil Bruce. So y'all different. Jerm from the hood. Mm-hmm. You from the hood. Lord Bruce go to All Saints, but Lord Bruce is South Side. He's South End Projects.
Through and through.
The epitome of South End Projects. Yep. I don't even know how he fit in with y'all.
That was my man.
Yeah, because Bruce is South End. So they set it up. They set up the game. We think it's sweet. They come down hungry. Now, I'm going to be real. They beat us. They definitely beat us. They had their... Tell me about y'all flags, bro.
So, in our league, and mind you, for years, we had the Velcro joints, right? Mm-hmm. And we was playing against Holy Rosary, Aquinas, all these teams that had the ball and socket joints, right? Finally, I think Coach Kenny, I think he bought us those flags himself because he got tired. Now, mind you, we was beating them with the Velcro joints.
Right.
But he was like, fuck that. We're going to get these joints. So, when we got the ball and sockets, we was beating people by 40. Because it was just no... Y'all knew it was coming, though. Joe knew. Coach Joe knew. He knew what we was bringing down there, but he still thought shit was sweet.
Right.
Because he knew everything y'all had, you know what I mean? And I know we got out on y'all early.
Y'all did.
We got out on you early.
So the ball and sockets, if you don't know,
they pop in and out.
The Velcro joints, you run fast and they fall off.
Yep.
The ball and socket, you got to pull down.
Yep.
You can't pull
out. Yep. Because it's just going to pull the belt. Yep.
Yes. You can't. So then you just pulling and they dragging you. Yep. That's basically what happens. So when we first start, and I'm playing DN. Mind you, I got Defensive Player of the Year, City Champs 94. I'm playing DN. I'm killing shit. I'm literally they say hut, I'm just reaching over the center and grabbing the flags. If I didn't get it, Jason Wade was getting it. It was me and him. Jason Wade was Warren Sapp. When we first start, y'all got the ball, and I'm going to do my thing, and
I'm gone.
The center is knocking me on my ass, though.
Oh, yeah, Dustin was coming.
Yeah, he wasn't, knocking me down, but he was firing out. I'm like, who the fuck is this?
He hitting?
Yeah, he hitting? He firing out, standing his ground. This dude, and you gone.
Yep, I'm gone.
You gone. Then Jeremy coming in, change the pace. Everybody eating.
Yep.
And it's like the bully getting punched in the mouth. We man, what is going on here? I'm going to tell you what I remember. I remember you going crazy. I remember the slow start. Y'all got off on us. I remember Owens probably having like 10 catches. Like that's when I realized Owens' hands was different. He was snagging everything. Him and Catone was like,
they was like a problem.
Yeah, they was like Steve Young, Jerry Rice. But y'all like neutralized Lil Rob, which had never been done before. But anyways, y'all beat us. You did your thing. Y'all didn't smash us.
I mean, you got some late stuff to get to.
Once we figured out the flags,
I probably had 200. Listen, I probably had 200.
We was going.
I probably had 200.
We was going this way
at least
the ball field.
At least 4 scores. I scored 4 times.
Maybe 3.
I was hitting the corner. It was
3.
Over.
Maybe
it was
3.
Over.
Maybe 3
and
times.
y'all lucky y'all didn't have to punt it to me. Because that was 6.
We wasn't punting. It was a scrimmage. Jason Wade was our punter, by the way. But once we figured out the flags, I feel like it was an even game. But possibly the best flag football game. Like for elementary school.
Yeah. It would have been, if like it could have been televised, it would have been classic. It would have been classic.
The best flag football game in the history of Steubenville.
And it was good because, like you said, you didn't expect what was coming from us. Little did y'all know we hadn't lost a game the whole time at All Saints. You know what I mean? And we beating people by 40 every
They told us that.
Yeah.
But we Garfield.
Yeah.
The fuck about All Saints? What is they going to do to us? Like, man, Coach Kenny had y'all ready.
Yep.
So the rumors is true.
Yep.
We was the best flag football team of all time in public schools.
I'm gonna go like after that, and then I came down and won the 3-on-3 with 2 white dudes. I mean, what I was doing in that little span was kind of unheard of.
You had a moment.
It was kind of unheard of because that bicentennial, who was on that team? I know Catone.
It was me, Catone, Radoc, and
Dio.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a kill squad.
Yeah.
And we came down and got the dub.
Yeah.
Like,
y'all did.
So, I had a good little run. I
had to bring that back. That was dope. They literally had 4th Street blocked off.
And they had it was like a hoop it up type deal.
It was
like they
everywhere.
Had in Pittsburgh.
It was hoops everywhere, yeah.
But Steubenville was different then.
It was.
The time was different. Even the hustling shit was different because there was just a code and respect.
And they looked out. And they looked out.
Thank you. They looked out.
I seen a picture of you, Damien, and Miss Rose Fuller.
Okay, yeah. Miss Rose and my biological mom were super, super close.
And I wanted to ask you your connection is to Charles Henry.
Yeah.
Because I know y'all have a connection. I just didn't know what it was.
And basically, like Charles, honestly, Charles was with Loretta. Crazy thing. And Miss Rose, she was going through stuff, but she knew how bad it was, and she came and took Charles.
So
she took him.
He was with her before you guys got there?
No, so when my mom left me and my brother at the time, too, my mom was with Miss Rose. They left Chuck, too. So Chuck was going through it too. That's why me and Chuck got a different thing too, because Chuck was there with us for a minute. Miss Rose, when she really found out what was going on, they came and got Chuck.
She came and got Chuck.
Yep. But my mom had already, my mom was out of city, everything, so we was stuck.
And Chuck had Miss Barb.
Yep.
He had his grandma.
Yeah, really it was Miss Barb. When Miss Barb, she kind of told Rose, hey, go handle this. And you know what I mean? And they went down and got Chuck out of there. You know what I mean? But that's another reason why, even though Chuck was doing what he was doing, Chuck always looked out. I think my first $20 bill I ever felt.
He was one of those people you was referring to.
Yeah, 100%. But like I said, even the people who were doing in the streets those days, it was just a different thing. Like little kids was off limits. If he was doing anything positive, they were supporting. Yeah. It's just it was a different kind of respect, and the older people the younger people respected the older people. There ain't no respect now.
You know what it was though? It was community. There ain't no community no more, bro. There ain't no respect. There ain't no code. It's every man for himself, man. It's the blind leading the blind, and I mean I always
everybody fighting over the same dollar too. That's the problem.
I went back to me mugging and not even saying what's up. Like we talked about views versus subscribers. People hesitate to support. People hesitate to show love, man, and that's what I like to give flowers. You know what I mean? And that's my thing. I like to give flowers. I like to give support because we all come from something, man. We from the city. Like this is we from the Ville. Like we need that. Like we need each other, man. We building relationships, and again, man, we've literally known each other our whole lives, and people wouldn't know that. Yeah, like they wouldn't even associate me with you, but literally we've known each other from free lunch. Like it's we've always known each other.
You was there the first fight I had in childhood. I fought BY at the
high shaft.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that's how long ago.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
It's from kids.
So,
literally grew up
kids,
together. Yeah, for sure. So it's dope seeing you doing what you're doing. It's dope to see you overcome the adversity you went through, and it's dope to be to be. I see you doing the podcast now.
Yeah. We started doing that. It's called Petty Talk Podcast. You know what I mean? Because in softball, there's a lot of petty stuff that goes on. A lot of people don't like to talk about it, or they keyboard warriors. They want to type about it, and we were like, we boys, so let's just go talk about it and put it out there. So, yeah, we got the Petty Talk Podcast. It's been going good. We got about 8 episodes in. You know what I mean? We're on all social media platforms, and it's been good, man. Like, it got me out of my shell a little bit, too. I'm an introvert. I don't be out at the bar. I don't do none of that shit. You know what I mean? So this motivated me to do that. You know what I mean? You guys seeing what you guys are doing, how your platform's growing, how you're able to come back and do stuff for the city. So when I see that, as business people, that's what we're supposed to do.
That's dope.
Like, I'm going to take something from you and try to make it something for you. You're going to take something from me and try to make it, and we feed off each other to make stuff happen. And that's what you're supposed to do.
It is. And you spoke on something like being an introvert. Like and I always say, like, people that don't like Speed know, like when Speed brought it to me, I like who I like, man.
Yeah.
I like my friends, I like my family, and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't do too much kicking it. I don't do no kicking it. It's still weird when people walk up to me, and mention the Legacy Lounge and stuff like that. Like, I can hold a conversation anywhere, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
So, like, when I say I'm an introvert, like, people look at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Like, but my people know, like, no, I don't leave the house.
Yep.
I'm a hermit. Like, I don't leave the house. I do what I do. I'm a dad. I'm a husband. I'm a friend, but I don't leave the crib. And, you an introvert, like you were saying, like, you do your thing with the petty talk, but this ain't natural for you.
No, not at all. I was extremely nervous to come on here, but to be honest, our history, and even though people may not associate it with, there's still a sense of familiarity.
For sure.
So it was comfortable. It's natural. You know what I mean? Like, we talking like, hey, we just catching up.
And
I'm coming by to catch up.
That's
like,
exactly what it was. Like,
that's all it was.
Shit flowed smooth, man. Shit definitely flowed smooth. You said something I want to touch on before we wrap it all the way up. You gave us some advice, basically, about outgrowing Steubenville. What you mean by that?
You can't let your environment, and I had to learn this, you can't let your environment dictate your limitations on who you're becoming, right? And sometimes when you're doing something and you got a business venture or you got a job opportunity or you got something, sometimes you'll let your sense of community, you'll let your family, you'll let different things keep you in a box. And when you just meant for better stuff, you just meant for something different. And sometimes, like, you just outgrow your situation. Sometimes, and it's okay, you outgrow friends, you outgrow relationships, you outgrow job situations. It's okay, but you have to be mature enough to also recognize those opportunities and take advantage of it. Because sometimes if your windows, the windows that I found that we have to grow sometimes are so small that if you don't go through it, you ain't going to get it 2 months from now, 3 months from now. So when you reach that point that you have that growth, you got to take it.
You got to seize the moment.
Yeah, you have to.
You got to seize the moment.
And where you guys are and where you guys are growing, I feel you guys are so close that it's time. Like, it's time. Like, I had reached out to Speed. I said, hey, man, I'll do the podcast, but why don't you come to Jack's, right? Because I think it's super dope for y'all to go to, I'm in Jack's. You got other people in Atlanta. You got other people. Go there, right? Go there and then let other people see your work, too. You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna show. It's crazy because sometimes people you don't know will show you so much love and take you to places that you never thought was imaginable.
No, that's a fact.
That's what happened with me. The people that put me on was not, people that barely knew me.
That's why you build relationships.
Yep.
And that's why sometimes you got to be comfortable being uncomfortable and stepping outside your inner circle, because love will always be love, but the opportunities, what they say, the change starts at the end of your comfort zone. Like, you got to get out of your comfort zone. And shit, I ain't the one to give advice on it. I'm learning it. I'm literally living it. Like, I'm comfortable where I'm comfortable at, but I definitely got to get up out of that because I see the bigger picture. And once you see the bigger picture, then everything becomes easier. We'll be in Jacksonville, bro.
Come on down, man.
Yeah,
I'd love to have y'all
down there, man. For sure. It's something we got to do. Steubenville always be Steubenville. It's home, and wherever I'm at,
it like come with you. That's what you gotta understand. Just because you ain't physically here don't mean it ain't.
We put on for the city wherever we at, for sure.
Always.
I appreciate you, bro.
Thanks for having me, man. I know this shit got a little heavy today.
Man, it's a roadmap to it's okay. It's okay to not be okay. You know what I mean? It's okay to not let your past dictate who you are. Hold yourself accountable, be self-aware of who you are, and stand on business and embrace who you are.
Yep.
That's what you said. You was uncomfortable. You was trying to be something you wasn't, and now you're comfortable and you're flourishing. Once you get comfortable, you flourish. It's not a coincidence. It's that's just how it is, definitely. Yep. Man, I appreciate you coming in town, man. I know you had an event, man. You flew down, man, kicked it with us. My man, shout out to Hype Clothing again. How can they find you?
HypeSportsGear.com. On Facebook, Hype Sports Gear. Hype Sports Apparel on Instagram. Hit us up, man. Go to the website. There's a questionnaire in there. We take reps. We take suggestions, anything. You know what I mean? We'll get you right.
For sure, man. Check him out. If y'all know, the gear is dope. Yeah. Like the gear is dope and it's versatile. So it ain't like just like it's far from softball gear. Softball gear. You can go to the club and be fly in the gear. And it feel good too. But I always like to wrap up on basically like summarizing the conversation of the person that that the person that's the guest on the podcast, and everything you told, man, is basically is perseverance. And you were subjected to some things, but you didn't let it be your story. Mm-hmm. And we mentioned BY, and we mentioned BY a couple times, but BY went through some things as well, and it ended up being the story, and we end up losing him way before we should have. Every time we wake up, man, it's a chance, to right your wrong and to be a better person. And he didn't get that chance. D-Hart didn't get that chance. You know what I mean? So, and a lot of others, but it could have been easy for you to just be a product of your environment. Mm-hmm. It could have been easy for me to be a product of my environment. It could be easy for you to be a product of your environment, but the change starts within. And once you're comfortable in your skin, whatever that may be, stand on business for yourself. Be yourself, embrace yourself, have confidence in yourself, and know that, you tell your story, you control your story, man. You're the author, the illustrator, the editor of your story. Don't let nobody tell your story for you. And every day we wake up is a chance to right your wrong. It's never too late. I think that's the key thing is run your race. Like this man here, man, been through a lot of stuff I had no idea, no clue. And here he is today, man, stopping in from Jacksonville, man, flourishing and giving back at the same time. And that's what it's about. That's your legacy. That's what you leave behind. And when it's all said and done, they ain't going to remember the bad you did. They're going to remember the hype sports and the Ville and everything you're doing right now. And that's because, you made the conscious decision to live for your kids and do the right thing. That's your legacy, man. We all from Steubenville. At the end of the day, man, Steubenville raised, Steubenville made, but that don't got to be the ending, man. That's just the beginning. That's just the foundation. Run your race, man. Spread your wings. Fly. Y'all know what it is with me, man. It's the Legacy Lounge, man. I appreciate y'all rocking with us. Share, love, subscribe, and help us help y'all, man. We want to keep doing this, man. Shout out to Justin Dixon. Shout out to Hype Sports. Shout out to Steubenville, Ohio. Appreciate you coming, man.
Yes,
appreciate y'all rocking with us. Legacy Lounge.